Joining us in studio, Sean Stysik, a.k.a. Slipstones.
What's up? Wolfpak in the house. Thanks for having me.
You know, I got one of your new shirts.
I see
Right
it.
here. It's super comfy. I love it.
Yeah, we should have considered you for a model. You look great, bro.
Nah, I know I make this shirt look good, but in all seriousness, it's a great shirt.
Thanks, bro.
What inspired these?
What inspired those?
Yeah, the new, because you guys came out with a new collection recently, right?
Yeah. Are you asking specifically about the collection or about
The
that
collection
one?
in general.
Black and white sells very well. So we wanted to do some black and white, and the mint have, like, I anticipated them flying off the shelf, so we went with the mint color, and we were right about that. They've been flying.
Right, because it's called the Mint Collection, right?
The mint Oreo neon cheesecake collection.
Yeah. Why the dessert theme?
It's gnarly, right? I don't know. Like, cause
it's
first
sweet.
we just had the mint and black and white shirts, and then we added those to it. So we were gonna call it the mint Oreo cheesecake, which obviously flows a little better. But then we threw the neon shirts in because they're awesome.
Right.
And we're like, you know what? Like, we're doing our own thing out here. Like mint Oreo neon cheesecake. I don't know. Just everything felt right. You just gotta trust your gut,
right.
you know.
No, I like it.
Yep.
To be clear, I should have mentioned you're the co-founder, along with your brother, of Wolfpak Clothing.
Wolfpak Clothing.
Where can people go to get?
Wolfpakclothing.com. Just leave the C out. So it's going to be, P-A-K as opposed to P-A-C-K.
Okay, we'll leave a link below.
Yeah, check it out, man. Check it out.
Anyway, but that's not entirely why we're here, is it?
Nope.
No, sir.
We're going to talk some basketball.
It's basketball season. If you're a basketball fan, if you're a fan of basketball, no matter which order you say it in, this is your time of year.
Yes, it really is.
The Final Four is this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So let me start off with this thought. March Madness has been appropriately named this year. It's been wild. A lot of upsets. Great Cinderella.
We got a Cinderella.
But at the same time, we have one of the elite teams, a classic tradition, making it into the Final Four, that being North Carolina.
Yeah. It's kind of cool because Oregon and Gonzaga they're great teams. They're a 1 and a 2 seed. Right. They're kind of expected to be here. But at the same time, Oregon has been in the Final Four in like 80 years or some crazy stat.
And they had to be Kansas was in the group who everyone thought Kansas was going to make it from that region.
Yeah, Oregon has been there in forever, a century. And Gonzaga's never been here.
Right.
South Carolina is the Cinderella story. So it's kind of cool, like three schools
kind
that have paid their dues.
Kind of outsiders.
They've paid their dues a little bit because Oregon and Gonzaga have been knocking on the door for a minute, and then you got the powerhouse.
North Carolina.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
So
2 years in a row.
Who do you have as the favorite winning the Final Four as of right now?
Winning these next two matchups?
Right now, we're in the Final Four. Who's going to be the champion? Today's Friday. We're recording on a Friday.
Okay. I'm going with Oregon to take it all. I think the winner comes out of Oregon-North Carolina game regardless.
That's a bold statement, sir.
So if North Carolina beats Oregon, then I got North Carolina.
All right.
But I'm predicting Oregon to beat North Carolina and then to most likely beat Gonzaga. It's tough because I think Oregon and North Carolina are by far the two best teams. I think they're a level up on Gonzaga. I think Gonzaga's great, but I just think Oregon's better.
Really, though, no love for the Carolinas. No battle of the Carolinas.
No. I just think it's Oregon's time. I really like Dorsey. I really like Bell.
Right.
And I just think it's their time to shine. They've been getting slept on for a while. The Pac-12 was low-key very good this year. Mm-hmm. But we didn't realize that as fans until kind of later in the year because we all college basketball fans sleep on the Pac-12.
Right, especially being on the East Coast.
Yeah, and this year was a lot different. Like the past 10 years, the Big Ten's been stacked, and the Pac-12's been down. And then this year, the Big Ten was down, and the Pac-12 was really good. So like Oregon probably should have been a 1 seed, but they were in a really tough way better than the ACC. Pac-12, I think, was probably the best conference in college basketball this year.
We'll discuss that a little more in this pod about my thoughts on the Pac-12, and we'll get into that.
Stacked.
We'll get into that more. However, I want to stick with predictions real quick since we're on predictions. I'm going to have to take North Carolina. Here's why.
I'm listening.
They are a jump shot away from potentially being back-to-back national champions.
Yeah, they're hungry.
Veteran experience. Although, in fairness, Oregon, everyone slept on, I feel, because they had one of their players tears ACL right before the tourney. I'm not going to say nothing, but on the Run Wild podcast, tourney bracket challenge, I had Oregon in the Final Four.
Did you?
Because they didn't have necessarily an elite player, but they had a really deep bench.
Right.
And so that's why I had Oregon in the Final Four.
And then they got Dorsey, who's just...
He's been hot.
He's the man. He's the man. He's Mr. March.
But I think North Carolina, they got good junior and senior leadership. They've been there before. Like I said, a jumper away from potentially being back-to-back national champions.
Marcus Page hit the shot that no one really will ever remember.
For
the double clutch.
Remember, exactly. It was that double clutch. Didn't it bank?
I'm
pretty sure it banked off, too.
Yeah, I think it did. I just remember watching it. I'm like, wow, we're going to remember this shot forever.
Right. And now it's like it didn't happen.